Hey, what is up, lovelies? It's Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and you know what? This made me super happy. So I posted this video pretty recently. It is what you could expect for all new love interests in Love and Deep Space, and I had a very interesting and incredibly respectful comment sharing their opinion. So it was this user here. Sorry if you feel embarrassed that I'm highlighting you, but it's Aura1311. And unpopular opinion, please don't hate me. I don't really want Caleb to be the next Li. I thought his character was cute, well made, but kind of basic. There wasn't much uniqueness about him like the others. To me, he gave off very plain vibes, and I'd love to see them come up with something or someone we haven't before. Let's see, like completely new, like with Silas. I also believe the death of Caleb really added to the backstory of our character. I really don't want that undone. Okay, I'm done. As I said, please don't hate me. I know I'm the only one who thinks this. I still love the game and all the characters, and if Caleb is added, I'd love him too. I just wanted to say thank you so much for being incredibly respectful and sharing your opinion about Caleb, and also being very kind to all of those who want Caleb to be added to the game as well. And also being a little bit open-minded, because you said that you would be willing to, love him as well. And that actually got me thinking. So there have been a lot of different comments that I've seen, kind of hoping that Caleb is not a love interest, and also some people saying that they don't want any more love interests added into the game. And to that I say, unfortunately, there is going to be more love interests added to the game, whether you like it or not. I don't mean to say that in a bad way. I'm just saying, it's the plan that Infold has already laid out, and it's also more ways of them making more money. So it's definitely gonna happen. So I'm sorry about that. But I also wanted to talk about the pros and cons of having more love interests in Love and Deep Space. Now, let's talk about the cons first, okay? With more love interests, of course you're going to have to wait for your favorite love interests to drop more memories. So whether it be solo banners or myth banners or whatnot, it's going to take a longer time for them to come out into the rotation. That is if they only keep one limited banner running at a time with the more love interest added into the game. Hopefully they're going to add maybe 2 limited banners and 1 standard banner, who knows. But I think that would be probably the smartest thing to do, just because it would allow people to feel more at ease, and rotations for the love interest would be a little bit faster. So that is one con of having another love interest. Another con is if you love all of the love interests, then I'm sorry, but your wallet is kind of screwed. You're going to be pulling for every single banner, and that could be very detrimental to some people. And if you're also somebody who likes to stay up to date with all of the events happening in the game, if you don't like a certain love interest, going through those events could be a little bit boring, could be a little bit dragging for you. However, what I will say is that this allows for the opportunity, so this is a pro now. This will allow for the opportunity for you to save resources, if that is the case. It's also some nice downtime if ever there's going to be a banner that's released for a love interest that you don't like. And if you're one of those individuals like me currently, I love all 4 of the guys. Not necessarily equally, but enough for me to want all of their memories. It's an addiction, guys. I'm sorry. Don't follow my example. But it's enough for me to want to pull for all of the love interests. And yeah, I mean, if Caleb is added into the game and I end up really liking Caleb too, I'm gonna end up pulling for 5 characters, and that will be crazy. That is also like a downside. I'm gonna have to start being a little bit more smart about my pulls, a little bit more like conscious about how much I'm spending in the game, that kind of thing. So that is something that I guess can also be considered a con. Another con that some people may not think about is that there will be more love interest drama, meaning, we already know how toxic the CN community can be when it comes to parasocial relationships with all of the characters and whatnot. And if we're going to add another love interest, especially Caleb, since Caleb is very, very popular overseas, then, things could get a little bit feisty in the interwebs. And when that happens, I hope that everybody keeps in mind that this is just a game. They are just pixels. Technically, they're not real, unfortunately. This is a nice little distraction that we all have, but there's no need to be completely toxic and parasocial. And I hope, people will keep that in mind when new love interests are added into the game. That being said, I feel like my community that has followed me here on YouTube knows about the parasocialness in the CN side and wants to be more aware and not participate in that kind of drama. So I thank you everybody for being very mature about this and very, very conscientious about how you talk to others in the community. And that's why I wanted to highlight Aura here, who was very, very respectful in her own opinion. I appreciate these kind of comments. I actually really, really like opposing visions. No, I'm sorry. Opposing points of views is what I said in the post. Points of views that are, given very, very respectfully, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, that is just some of the cons, but going back to the pros of having more love interests, again, this is just an opportunity for people who are solo biased or not biased towards the current character who is running to have a time to save your pulls, save your diamonds, save your resources, crystals, whatnot, and just kind of chill and just log in every day, do their dailies, and log back out without panicking about what is to come next or whatnot, because that there's going to be some leeway time until your next banner comes out for your love interest, basically. Yeah, it gives you skippable times to earn resources, and you can also even earn diamonds in the Deepspace trials for the new love interests, because eventually you're going to have to go through their Deepspace trials, also their main story branch, which has some combat in it that you get 20 diamonds for completing one of their combat levels. So you can farm for diamonds using that specific character, which would be very, very nice. It's very helpful to have that kind of option to have. It gives us players more diamonds, albeit a finite resource, because it's not necessarily something that refreshes, but at least we can take advantage of what Infold can provide us, instead of just constantly complaining about what we don't have in the game. And last but not least, the biggest pro to having another love interest added into the game, or multiple love interests added into the game, is that it casts a wider net for an audience, meaning that we can pull more people into the game, we can make more revenue for Love in Deepspace, and not only will it kind of fuel the fire of Love in Deepspace, so that way we can get better updates, better quality stories and memories and whatnot, but it will also fuel the fire to other companies to inspire them to create a game like Love in Deepspace as well. So it's just one of those things where it creates a certain kind of cycle that shows that yes, making a game that's focused for women, only highlighting men, does make a lot of money, and having more love interests will only fuel that fire, because again, like I said, it casts a wider net to people. It keeps people who are already playing longer. It helps retain them because they want to know the story, or they're interested in the new love interest, and it also pulls in new players who become interested in the new love interest who's coming out. We saw the same thing that happened with Silas. We had a set player base when we had the three main guys, Xavier, Raphael, and Zane. But when Silas was introduced into the game, we had a huge surge in more players coming in and learning about what Love in Deep Space is and what the game has to offer. So you know, there is two sides of the coin, and hopefully, you know, you can outweigh the cons with the pros here, because you know, it's out of our control whether or not Love in Deep Space, Infold, the devs, plan to add another love interest. The hints right now points mainly to Caleb, but future love interests as well. I don't really know how many that they're planning to have. Possibly only 6 in total. Maximum 15, because if you do the like combinations math, you get 15 from the stalactrum colors that we have, but the number 15 kind of freaks a lot of people out, so let's not think about 15. Let's just think about 6. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are down below, whether you want more love interests or whether you don't want more love interests, and tell me why. Again, I really respect other people sharing their opinions, and sharing their opinions very respectfully to our community here. I will not tolerate anybody who is being unnecessarily rude in the comments. I will delete your comment, and I will block you from the channel. So yeah, that is my little statement there and where I draw the line. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I cover Love in Deep Space, and that's pretty much it. I am Lynn, the Gacha Goblin, and I will see you lovelies in the next video. Bye bye now.